But you can imagine that I am over 30 years old, much over, and I have never seen the check in my life. Maybe in the books, okay, but never in real life. Nobody uses checks for making the payments in Poland. So that might be the case, showing that we are a little bit further than the rest.
In 3, 2, 1, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode on the Lawn with FVR. We are in an actual lawn, and today we are talking with Jan. Thanks for doing this, man.
Pleasure.
So, people will be watching, hey, wait a second, this is a different environment. Yes, because we are in the Singapore Fintech Festival, and we just happened to hear one of your classes, a master class, on what is going on in Poland.
Exactly. So what is going in Poland? Right now we are preparing for really great things that will come from the regulation side. It means, for example, open banking regulation, new products that were created on EU level. And also we see that a lot of startups are right now growing in the Polish fintech sector, so that's good, I think. And soon maybe they will be open for the cooperation with the ASEAN region.
Now, we need to go back a little in time, because this has not been the first time we talked. We talked also back in May for the Kuala Lumpur Fintech Expo going on, and it was such a huge event because it opened the eyes of many about what is going on in Poland. So how much has evolved the industry since the last 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, so the numbers might be not so big like it's, for example, in Singapore. It's a totally different market. So in Poland we counted around 400 startups or grown-up companies which are connected with the financial innovation, fintech. So they are part of fintech environment that is solution for local payment institution, but as well they are conducting the business on the financial market for their own. So we identify right now around 400 and a lot of them are really looking for expansion to Asia and other markets because they have really great products, especially in the payment sector and IT, which also covers problems with the cyber sector.
We mentioned about Poland and the efforts to bring a lot of fintech, and during your talk you mentioned something very singular, caught the attention of many, MiCA. Can you tell what is MiCA about?
Of course. So MiCA regulation is the regulation that was created on the EU level, and it creates one legal environment for crypto assets in whole European Union. So it means that right now in Europe you have 27 countries which have sometimes different ideas how to supervise entities as well as what to do with crypto assets. Maybe there are financial instruments, maybe not, and in that meaning it might appear that you have some obligation or not. So MiCA will create new environment. It will be much easier to make the classification of the assets which are issued by blockchain industry, as well as will be a regulation about being a virtual asset service provider for the whole European Union, not only in one or another country, not local regulations. Just only.
That's very important because even in the Singapore Fintech Festival, there is like the international pavilion, and there are many countries that they may look different on the outside, but the regulations happen to be almost the same.
Should be almost the same, but still the idea behind the MiCA was that European supervision authorities made some research in 2018-2019 and asked supervisors, okay, we got few tokens, and tell us how would you classify at the local level this kind of asset. And the answer was not the same in countries. And because of that, the decision was to create one environment goal to be sure that in EU there's same level for confidence between the market players, as well there is the same level of protecting the consumers of that services.
Given that particular context, I need also to bring the attention that at the beginning of your talk you were also from the law background.
Yes.
So can we go back a little in time and discuss how the young Jan decided to pursue this career?
Yes, my career started, I'm a lawyer by profession, as you know, so I always wanted to advise people to get the knowledge about certain aspect of life. I decided that the banking and financial services are the most important for me as a lawyer already. So the route that you are becoming the lawyer, but not only normal lawyer, but advising fintech companies, it's something different in the meaning, because you have to know the technology. I like the technology. I'm interested. I really like law, knowing how it should be done. Something. It's like a puzzles for me. So we have to know a little bit more, develop yourself, and combining technology and knowledge about the law is the key in that area, to understand properly everything and advise properly.
That's very important, because when you put the context, it's connecting like a jiggle bus. It's like, okay, now it's a different way to just writing and reading.
Yeah.
It really gives the description of, okay, this profession can be practiced, but there are ways to practice.
Yeah, there are ways to practice. Before I worked for the Polish Financial Supervision Authority for 6 years, from which for 4 years I was team manager in the fintech department. So I was responsible for advising mostly innovative companies about how to implement new product, new solution to the market, to be fully compliant with the rules and regulations. And right now I changed my job position, and right now I'm the partner in the one of the biggest Polish law firm. So I build right now the team responsible for fintech to better advise, to help creating the whole ecosystem.
Talking about building and leadership, there will be moments that you have to make decisions and compromises. I believe there was, among those, a very difficult compromise you did in your career. Can you tell us why that was a difficult compromise?
It was difficult because I started to build the department, financial innovation department in the Polish FSA 6 years ago. It took a lot of work to get it from two person and to employees and director to what it looks right now, with the help of my directors, of course. But still, it's not so easy to change the position from being supervisor, from helping to be the lawyer, which has to cover many other aspects of relation with the client and just only in the supervision how it was.
The law, the study of the law and the practice of the law. Sometimes people see that in the movies, but the actual lawyers are doing things that can be very different. What words can come to your mind when you see the movies and it's like, wait a second, that doesn't happen?
What words? It's not so easy, because when you are looking, if somebody watched the Suits, for example, everybody is brilliant, knows everything in a glance. In real world, you have to learn a lot, read a lot, and the process never stops. So you have to be always on top with the information to be sure that you could give real good advice and proper advice. If you are thinking about advising in the fintech area, you have to not only be aware about changes in the regulations, but also how the technology is developing. So that's the problem, that you have to be still learning. So being a lawyer is the process of constant learning.
Exactly, the process of constant learning is sometimes so overlooked, because when people get a degree, it's like, okay, it's already done.
Yeah.
But the process of constant learning, that's a hidden message.
Yeah, that's the hidden method, but still, you don't have to make the PhD or some kind of classes. Also, the process of learning is that you read a lot. You want to expand your knowledge on the daily basis, even reading the book, which is covered, which is connected with what you are doing, or sometimes which help you develop in other areas. So that's the problem, that if you will stop, you will go back shortly, because never stops.
Jan, when people read about Poland, it's like there are so many stories going centers, from King Jagiello, and even when the capital was moved from Warsaw to Krakow.
From Krakow to Warsaw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. I need to ask you, how was the world growing up when you were younger, in your childhood years? Mm-hmm. Can you tell us how was that environment?
Yeah, the environment was totally different, especially that I was born still in the 80s, so a little bit maybe a few years ago, I can say so. And when you look, the really fast development started after 2004. So when we became part of the European Union, we started to implement the laws, regulations, the funds were come from EU to boost our development. Because you can imagine that in the 90s, in the 1990, let's say so, Poland had the GDP of maybe different. Ukraine had much bigger GDP than Poland. Mm-hmm. Right now, Poland has so big GDP that whole Ukrainian GDP is like Warsaw and circle around the Warsaw. So you have to look at it as really huge leapfrog, if we could say so, and that we've done in the development of our economy for about 30 years. So that's my view, that we made really huge development during that years.
Yeah, I can see the acceleration of growth to be so bigger in GDP numbers. To make that comparison, it should make sense, because nowadays we see a lot of fintech companies coming to other parts of the world to say, hey, we're open for business, let's do trade agreements, let's do trade of exchange of technology, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially that we Poland is quite interesting for investors because we have well-educated people. We have really great labor forces. We are not saying that we are cheap or something like that. It's not the case. The case is that we know how to do, for example, tech. We know how to manage the processes, how to build solutions from the scratch. So this is really great part of the knowledge, and we should be understand as a country which have huge internal market. We have almost 40 million people. So even starting with the business in Poland for us fast, it's good part. Mm-hmm. Because you have a huge internal market on which it's easy to get the client, because people are open for the innovation. To give you an example, MasterCard opened in Poland their center of excellence on innovation. So that might be idea that people know how to do innovation in the financial sector. And we are part of the European Union, so having that in mind, if you have license in Poland, without any borders, any problems, you could easily serve the services to any other of 26 plus Poland countries of the EU. So that's good. Part of the process, especially that there is no language barrier almost, because a lot of people in Poland talk in English, for example, and people are really good educated. So that gives us possibilities to cooperate all over the world with the people from all over the world.
So what you mentioned right now sounds like this is the strength of Poland.
Yeah.
Like somebody from abroad to focus on Poland.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
As a member of the Polish community, why you put eyes in Southeast Asia or Singapore in specific?
Why? Because Southeast Asia is a really good place to help conducting the business. Because in Europe there is around 500 million people, 500 maybe a little bit more, maybe less. And if you compare it to the market of ASEAN, it's hundreds of millions of people, potential customers of the financial services providers. So if the business model suits and work in Europe, it shouldn't be a problem to implement it, to scale up in other regions. Especially that you can imagine that in Poland, over 99% of, for example, payment services are done with tap cards only. So that's definitely the idea that POSs are prepared for that point of sales. In Germany, it's much lower
really?
number. So you can imagine that there is the difference between our countries, even on this area.
That's shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking, but
Yeah, I mean, the only reference I have is that in Malaysia and in Singapore you do the taps.
yeah.
And in Hong Kong, no way, no how.
Scanning QR codes.
You have to go with cash just to make the payment. It's like, and people will assume, wait a second, Hong Kong is supposed to be the dollar.
Yeah.
What is going on?
But you can imagine that I am over 30 years old, much over, and I have never seen the check in my life. Maybe in the books, okay, but never in real life. Nobody uses checks for making the payments in Poland. So that might be the case, showing that we are a little bit further than the rest.
That's the capacity of the internet and the development of fintech to even go ahead one or two steps in the process. Talking about processes, and given that you have been in different regions,
Yeah.
can you tell which are the little differences that you have seen so far?
The differences are many, because the tradition is one of the parts, especially that region of EU is the code law. So what is written in the books is the law, more or less, let's say so. If you are coming to countries like, for example, Great Britain, even Singapore, is a little bit more common law than civil, than code law. That's one of the problems that have to be managed, but it's manageable. Also, if we are talking only about the regulation, the level of regulations, because EU is really focused on protecting consumers, protecting data, etc., etc. We don't see similar regulations, for example, in Asia yet. It's not yet available. Maybe not in every country, but what I saw is that it's a different way of thinking about that. Maybe it will be implemented. So EU is really focused on consumer protection. So that I think that this is one of the key points, one of the biggest difference between ASEAN and Europe, for example.
Something that I would like to highlight during this episode is that there has been a partner in between that helped create all of this opportunity to talk. And we're talking about the Office of Trade of Poland
Yeah.
that has been both in Kuala Lumpur and also Singapore.
Yeah.
For you as a business, how helpful has been the Office of Trade to get these things done?
Polish Investment and Trade Agency, Magda Smolak, which organizes, which helped to organize this Polish pavilion in Singapore Fintech Festival. They are helping anyways because they are first place where you can contact with Polish authorities. This way or another, you can get the information how to start the business in Poland. It's good. Also, if you are interested in setting up business in Poland, they might help you with the whole process in the meaning of making appointments with the right people, which might help you, or with the market players which might be interested in your services. So they are helping with that processes.
So we can say that Office of Trade is like a two-way highway.
Yes, exactly. Two-way highway. They are helping businesses from both sides to establish.
That sounds impressive, to be honest. And I can say thank you for our main sponsor of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Now, given that we are on tight schedules and we should be wrapping up very soon,
Yes.
I would like to ask you one last question. What piece of advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self, probably learn more and to be investor in Bitcoin in 2012.
So you are suggesting to buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'm joking. It's always a problem to what to say, but of course it's really important that you have to be focused on one thing. So being the lawyer in that times doesn't mean that you know everything. So you have to be focused on one area. Like for example, for me, it's fintech innovation, and to develop your skills in that area.
Jan, I really appreciate the opportunity that we have to talk today. How people can find you?
How people can find me? On the LinkedIn, for example, I have the profile, and you can find me on the webpage of Kochanski and Partners Business Law Firm. I'm posted there, so please, if you want to start a business in Poland, you're fintech and looking for connections, please feel free to contact me.
Jan, once again, thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
And for people out there, please stay safe and see you when I see you. Bye.
Bye.